Okay, we have started.
Yay.
Yay. Uh, Hello, everybody. Welcome to Leviathan Friday. I am here with Zadok and Neilbar once again for the recap
I.
of the recap of the recap.
It's not even a recap. We're just redoing.
It's a
Or, yeah, we're
re-recap.
just redoing.
It's a
It's a
re-recap.
re-recap of what we're doing. We are going again for the Shadow War and Eternal Rest. Hopefully, audio doesn't break this time around, or this one's cursed
It
and we're
better
fucking
fucking
throwing it out the
not.
window.
Wow.
Damn. Oh my god. All right. I'm holding my phone up since it's folded like a fucking microphone. What the fuck?
Microphone.
If I could take a picture of it, I would. I'm literally holding it like a microphone. All right. See, we talked about this like what, 3 weeks ago
Not the bad
already?
band.
I already forgot where this band lives. I can't. God damn it. Oh my god. I forget where he lives. That is not where I wanted to go. Hello?
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 Hello? Hello?
Oh. Oh.
That did that way too perfect though, not gonna lie.
Hello.
Oh, the fuck is his home? Something stupid. Yep, something stupid. Jesus Christ. Okay, so the airship that they came upon, the first of people who attempted to stop the very first Leviathan, that then was killed later on. They, by the name of Cyrix Tomato, was and Kirith, came from the Shadowlands to Namira. They took the airship that Kirith had already bought and paid for with his own money as he was of heritage. They took that ship towards the first little area that they would be going to, which actually no, they didn't go to Namira yet. They went straight for the Thunderward. This is why I wish Yadigo got up for that one. This rain spit bat is bugging me. Straight towards the Thunder Orbs area where they docked their ship after a hoax of stuff that they had to do along the airship. Cyrix and Tomato pretty much had a bar fight. They paid the bartender, who was already getting paid enough for being on said ship. So he just made more money on them. Those two would have killed each other. Rosa was just minding their own business, while Kirith was nowhere to be seen, trying to do something else to prepare for any inspection or whatnot that they needed to do to basically dock. Upon doing that, they investigated the ship. They found that there was only a few things there of interest. The wind elemental controlling the ship, at least for its fuel source to get the blimp to move properly, as well as eggs being in the coal area where firewood is used. Those eggs were indeed dragon eggs revealed at that same session. On that, they went ahead and explored more of that downstairs area, that lower deck, They found a secret room that had some information about a sibling of Kyrus that he didn't tell anybody about. Only one person knew about her that was on that party. On getting to their desired destination after Tomato tried to fight the wind elemental, they went back towards their destination completely. They docked their ship, and upon docking their ship, one of the guards attempted to stop them, get their stuff. Sirik saw something in the corner of his eye, went towards that door. Upon doing that, they opened a entrance towards the dungeon, went through that. Well, not even towards the dungeon. It was a small part of it that was outside of it. It was a secret part of it, though. There was something in there, but they didn't get it. So upon going in there, they were met with a thief and a mistress woman. Said thief attempted to attack Rosa and Tomato, trying to get them to leave. Sirix rushed through the open area to get the woman. Upon doing that, he almost succeeded. He got a dagger thrown at him, and then she vanished. Upon doing that, the Titan that was inside of the dungeon came out and started wreaking havoc on the city. This was done from a different group who was in the dungeon beforehand. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. So upon them fighting that electrical golem titan, they were then met with getting paid for their task of killing that. They attempted to go down into the depths of the dungeon after getting proper permission. They met the rest of their crew, Bugs, as well as few others. I think this is also when Tomato died and basically swapped his character out for another one. Because I know he went from Tomato to Potato. And then his other one. Whatever. Upon going into said dungeon officially, they activated one of the Stone Guardians. These Stone Guardians would basically be there as a guard to the temple. They were just there to guard it. That's it. They accidentally activated one. It turned on. It was lighting the area. It went through a corridor and hit something. Exploded it upon revealing multiple different groups of enemies. This was the Dark Order. They were there attempting to steal said object of interest, their Thunder Orb, and they did, in fact, steal it. With the help of their own little team who was already in the point. So, this group of people left. This was a two-part session. Some people couldn't join this one, so it was only a few people. One of the people who gave them permission to go down there went down there. Attempted to take on the whole order itself, got himself killed. He was pulled out of the dungeon while someone else took his place to try and keep them at bay. As he was pulled out and pretty much dying, they went back to their airship and headed to the official place that they would be going to, which is the main city of Namira. Had lots of fun trying to resurrect Crow. That didn't go very well for him. He did resurrect him, but he also got rabies. He had a whole scenario with basically fighting with the goal of creation and life, which, yeah, is our version of gods, pretty much, or the ultimate, the almighties. So was having his whole thing with that. They then made it to Mira. They continued there. They were given their tasks. They were given their names, or their team name. They were given multiple different objectives. One of the players got a warhound that he had built especially to have as his companion. Cyrix met the love of his life. One of his children dragons was kicked after the eggs hatched during that same session. Sedgard was then demoted and put on their ship to then be eaten next session. Really that important for that dude because that dude didn't get to live long. Upon that, they also spent that whole session fighting in their own arena. This would be the same arena that is reforged and rebuilt for the Titan arena in the future, which will be talked about not next, but week after. So on that, they fought multiple different creatures and won. Then they moved on to their next objective, which was heading towards a forest. They were attempting to get the Earth Orb so they can have more of their power. So they can try and stop the Dark Order from getting their hands on it before they themselves awake the very thing they're trying to stop woken. So upon doing that, they head there. Their ship docked. They were attacked by a Thunderbird, which was awoken because of the Thunder Orb being taken, which was one of the Titans. It was then subdued. Well, not really subdued. It was killed. This Titan was killed, and its corpse has been left there whole goddamn time. Now that could change as of next week, maybe, and that might get a little bit more built upon. Upon doing that, they also met. Go ahead, Zadok.
I said we love fixing potholes.
Upon getting to that forest, they found an old ruin. They found the child of the Earth God. Bugs got married to an orcish woman, or an orc woman, the chieftain of the tribe, and also had a literal whole army to herself. This is also when Yeno touched the book on the airship and got infected with parasite. Got hungry, started trying to fight it off. This is when Frost was also there at the time, and she started going hungry and started literally killing everything on the ship, especially killing all the orcs that was brought over from the orcish tribe. So Bugs' wife hated her. Yeah.
There's a lot of problems in this campaign that could probably just easily be solved by figuring out a food source for people We kind of just have a bunch of people that like to eat things that shouldn't be eaten, and then we don't do anything with, like, we just let them be. Like, that's probably fine.
It's literally one of their racial traits. They just can't eat anything but flesh.
That's all. Like, it's a lot. It keeps coming up.
It's
I
it just
I was even someone that okay, stretching the definition of consumption, but like I killed a lot of people in the name of just taking soul, and then I got away with it. Anyway, continue.
got away with it. Damn it. Anyway, yeah, um, we ended the session there with after they got the flesh eaters to calm down. Next session, I think it was just and Tomato. He went into the ruin, try and get one of the weapons that was in there. He killed himself because he's trying to do something stupid. Got what? But I know he killed himself. On doing that, he, he killed himself. He got his next character, Potato. From that, just he just was doing his thing until he died again. Which happened literally the next session. I think the next one is Forged Love Fire. No, that is the that's the Earth Dungeon. So Pawn, are they yawning again? All right. So upon landing in the Earth territory, they went ahead and head straight after everything happened. Tomato killed himself. Potato came aboard. Um, they then headed towards the remains of the Earth Dungeon, which was no more, because that was inside of a giant rock structure. That orb was also gone. Or was it? They proceeded to grab whatever that was there, and then there was two giant fire-breathing creatures that attacked outside. They were murdered. Next session took us to Lovefire, and
The best
then
episode of first season.
the best episode. This is when Sturts had his tantrum, fought
One of
one
many.
of them, one of the mech users, Angel, who also was in love with his girlfriend at the time, and were also secretly dating. So he had a tantrum, wanting to have her to himself, and apparently this is literally them. They literally had this whole like hour of fighting or something like that. They literally just decimated the whole freaking desert. It was scorched up the ass. The mech was pretty much destroyed. It just left there. And they went to the actual town. They proceeded to go shopping, do a little things, trying to find the fire orb. Um, However, they did find a orb that looked like the orb that they presumed what it was as a fire orb, and they took it out of the castle. Uh, Kirith and Yeno had their buddy buddy moment. This is, I think, this is also the same um, spot where they were having the hot springs episode.
Yes.
So yeah, all the girls had their hot springs moment. I think someone tried to go into the other hot springs that they were not supposed to go into. Don't know if it was Spirit or if it was someone else. Seem to remember, but it was one of them. After the whole hot springs incident happened, they were refreshed. They were good. Kirith, Yeno went to this general store looking place with different objects. Yeno was sucked into a portal that was just randomly there and met two of the same people that he knew. Kirith was a full-on werewolf, as was having issues with that form before. Kirith was the full commander of the group and ultimately the champion to Arena. Yeno said something about Kirith being furry, I think, even more furry. And eventually he got pulled back into his own reality and was ultimately put back. And then from there, they got back on their airship. They went to Asgul, where they were supposed to go get the destruction orb. As they reached that destination, they had some issues. They were going at the time of the Black Dance, which is an event that all Black was must attend, as they are supposed to be there for that. As it's basically to give them more power to themselves and to bond with them, with their inner selves, to keep them from lashing out and becoming a flesh-eating, hungry beast that could basically kill a whole ass titan. Upon this session with the Black Moon Dance, Syrinx killed traitor that was given information to the Dark Order, who was Potato. Potato was revealed to be the secret member to that group who was just leaking information. Syrinx killed him.
His player.
And
important caveat. Potato didn't come back. It was just another guy.
yeah. And Syrinx killed him. He proceeded to attempt to kill the leader of that group, quote unquote, that group. Did not go well. He fled the area. Well, he didn't fled, he vanished. And from there, they went on with the Black Moon Dance. They did not get the destruction orb, as that was already in its place of origin, right in hell, awaiting whatever it is that it needed to be waiting. After leaving the Black Castle in Asgul, one of the Dark Order members defected. She was Kirith and Ava's younger sister, Ava being the chick who Syrinx fought over, Angel for, as well as joining the crew in the forest. Ava was resurrected through the means of her shadow mother and also her own separate identity. She was given resurrection. She was basically disowned by her own mother and then resurrected by the astral of blood, which made her essentially undead. So, their younger sister handed them the orb. The defected Dark Order gave them the objects they needed. So they headed straight back. Namira. They went down the staircase in the main castle, which was a gateway to hell. Upon getting into that entrance, they brought the orbs to their destined space to open the gateway to the void. Upon doing that, the orbs shattered and their energies went into said portal, awakening the Leviathan as it broke through. Now, this was supposed to be an Avengers level threat. Not everyone was here for this session. Shocker. There was only 3 people who actually were here for that, and that was me, Summer, and Awkward Wolf, who I was playing Kirith, Summer was playing Bugs, and then Awkward Wolf was playing Yeno, our only healer. Bugs was our artificer, and Kirith was our shitty ass archer. Shouldn't have been an archer in the first place, because all he did was low ones. So they fought the Leviathan, and upon doing this, they also basically let it out. They thought they sent it back in on very low health, but alas, it did not go as they planned. As the void was reclosing to suck it back in, it held its tentacles through that portal and basically ripped it open. So it was free. Rampaged the whole area, destroying everything. Essentially, Kirith, and Bugs may or may not be still alive. That is still to be determined. And then that's where basically that ends off of Shadow War. The only issue here, there was, quote unquote, chapter 2 that was supposed to connect to that. That's scrapped because that's literally only 2 episodes, and that also didn't go for very long, which was going to bring back the Leviathan through different means, but I did that with Eternal Rest, which is the official chapter 2.
That's why the important people came in. Anyway.
That's where the real important people came in. Oh, I love that from you, Zadok. That's where the important people came in.
Yeah, all 1.5 of them.
1.5 of them. It's so real, though.
Because Kat's still around, but she doesn't play. I'm here, but I'm here.
I'm here. That's all that matters. That you're here.
At the border of the
God, if Newbar was here for this one, oof.
Oh,
You just had to be there.
oh yeah.
Oh.
Well, you're in luck, Nilvar. It's almost like we record all these fucking things and like. Anyway.
And maybe eventually Neil Bar do what he's supposed to do. That he's had homework that's been late for like 3 or 6 months, and maybe watch him.
Okay, you know the downside is though, those past recordings have always had audio issues for some fucking reason. I was first. Like I was literally trying to edit chapter 1 or recap chapter 1. But yeah, even without the recordings though, it was fun. So this is where the important people and the fun happens. The even more fun. I'll go back up. All right. So chapter 2 basically starts with Seda, the my character, the NPC, giving out information, or not information, a invitation to help him solve mystery of the corrupted lands, as it was called. Basically, it's a small island on the. It's a little bit away from the main port of. Why did I not pull up the goddamn map when I was doing this? Fucking Azalar. This small island was basically going to be turned into a place for creatures, animals, whatever, to basically run around free, and it's natural environment still supposed to be. However, during the Leviathan, this is basically how I described it before. So, chapter 1 started in its own little universe. It's connected to chapter 2. So there are these glitches, these fragments of the Leviathan's corruption coming through these cracks, these rifts. So one of those cracks, rifts, broke through an eternal rest. That happened on this little island, corrupting it, turning into purple shit. So they were basically assigned to go with Seda, go figure out how to stop it. People were saying it was a tiefling woman who was causing it, as she was the only thing that appeared when the corruption appeared. I remember correctly from last time, Saroth was living in this area, or like next to it, nearby it.
Yes. So, after Serath fled the fled the capital of Azlor because he realized that nobody could agree on anything about how to deal with anything, even like the most basic stuff. How are they ever going to deal with something of like this magnitude? So he fucks off into the corrupted lands and starts uh, like becoming the Witcher. And then he eventually meets up with some like-minded people, and he becomes a, I don't even remember like what the actual terminology is, like a corruption hunter. He specializes in killing all the purple stuff.
Oh, funny enough, Zadok, speaking of Corruption Hunter, I actually made that a subclass for Blood Hunters.
I don't know, you do homework. You never like
So
posted.
there are people who are Corruption Hunters now. Actually, Seraph was the first one.
Fucking share your stuff, man. You know, like I don't. This is the first time I'm hearing you actually like making stuff and then like putting it somewhere, like rather than
Well,
just
I
like
haven't.
running it.
I actually just made this not too long ago because I have the order of corruption hunters, or whatever I'm going to call it, still placeholder. Basically, they were tasked with Seraph going out on this mission, and they group basically idolize him.
It went that far. um, but yes, in short, uh, Elven noble son, Isavar Fletchith, says "fuck you politics" and then becomes Rambo. Uh, in order to become fantasy Batman,
Fantasy
because
Batman.
his name is not
What?
Saran. Like, it's just he's like it's a like a nickname. Like, hey, You got a funny mask. It's like a hawk. We're gonna call you the Elvish word for hawk. Anyway,
Oh. Anyway, Daroth was one of them, and then there was other people. Uh, I love how when I wrote this up, I didn't mention the other people.
okay. There are so Seda, he was trying to find some people to go into the corrupted lands and to find this mysterious tiefling that's fucking everything up. So he hires Sarath, um, a guy whose name isn't Apricot, um, a mushroom,
Scrumpy?
Scrumpy, yes, he hires Scrumpy,
I think it was Scrumpy.
yes. Uh, See, he hires a guy who I believe hates grass, or maybe that's the other guy. I don't know.
No,
Anyway,
that is Scrumpy. That's Scrumpy.
okay. He hires a guy that hates grass, because it killed his father. Um, he hires a mushroom, uh, a vaguely maybe witch lady. I don't know. And is there anybody else?
I think that's everybody. I think. Mushroom, Grumpy, who hates grass, Sarah, Seda, Witch Lady, who only stayed for one session. I think that's everybody. Um, so before they even left, they were given devices called totems. Could capture creatures and basically turn them into Pokemon. Um, they were in development to try and unpurify creatures. So that way they can be brought back to Adlar, they could be purified and then sent back and released into the wild. Um, Daroth got a water spider,
Yes, Doro.
Juro.
The most useful creature in all of existence.
I think the only one that actually mattered was Juro.
Not the most powerful, but the single most useful monster we ever encountered.
Like, you used him so perfectly. Yeah, okay, there was Spider Wolf, Shadow Monkey, Water Spider, the Lightning Raptor, the Metal Rhino, the Poison Cat, and then the Griffin. Um, the Griffin was given to the weird witch lady. The Poison Cat was given to the guy who hates grass.
Now it wasn't grass; it was like leaves. But he thought that that was close enough to grass, so he's like,
Yeah,
no.
yeah, it was literally poisonous leaves. Um, I don't think the Rhino was taken.
It was not.
I know the Raptor was. I think the Raptor was given to the Mushroom. Duro was yours. Shadow. Oh, Shadow Monkey
That
was
was Seda.
no. Seda got the wolf or the raptor. I don't
Oh,
remember which one.
okay.
Um, Shadow Monkey was Lilith. We forgot Lilith.
Who's
He
Lula?
who shall not be named.
Okay. There's so much cool meta shit that happens in this campaign that you'd rather not talk about because relationship.
I mean, honestly, this campaign was best. It doesn't really matter to me anymore. It was just so fucking good.
Okay, then allow me to gush about how the fucking Firelands episode was so fucking cool, like on so like a bunch of different levels. Because Sarath, or no, sorry, not Syrinx
Direct,
was um Angel, Angela,
um, Angel. Her codename was Angel.
Angel, and who was the other one?
Uh, the other what?
Okay, so so player that was Syrinx's boyfriend played two characters in that game, mainly because like he was dating one of them in game, and like you wanted a voice or whatever. I don't know if you just didn't want to voice a female character or however that worked because
Uh,
she played two
no,
characters.
I was gonna voice Ava, and then she
Ava,
was joining, so I gave Ava to her, and she thought Angel was really cool as well. I was gonna do Angel, and then I gave her Angel as well.
yeah. So Syrinx what like he was dating the player of those two characters, and on the sidelines player like she was watching like him and Angel fight. Meanwhile she was also fighting him as him and Angel, and it was like this big fucking to do. If you go back and watch the episode, you can like feel like, or at least I could feel the emotion. Like, I don't know if it's actually there. I don't know if they were like breaking up at that point yet. But holy fuck, it was so cool in retrospect to see that happen, and then just like him no sell that to show that it's like he's probably not like I don't know who was in the right. I don't know if there was anybody in the right, but fuck, that was cool to like learn about.
I'm actually in contact with Blob again. I could one of these days see if he's available Friday, and you and bring him on as well.
Yeah, only if you want to. I don't know.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. If he wants to.
I think I remember I don't I'm fairly certain that I am subscribed to Blob on YouTube.
But yeah, I'm in agreement with you. That one was really good. I honestly just like, okay, you guys ball, you go for it.
It was so cool on so many levels, and I wasn't even there for that one. This was during my homework.
This was during his homework.
Anyway, back to the future present, back to the future past.
Back to the Future Past, everybody. Woo!
So when we got all the all the little Pokemon creatures, Scrumpy had like one of his only items was a lighter, and then he really didn't like the fact that there was just a cat following him that was made of leaves, so he lit it on fire and became a fire leaf cat.
Yes. To explain how that happened, unlike how Pokemon evolve, these ones evolve into a different typing if they are stressed, or basically stress evolution. So him lighting the cat on fire evolved it into a fire cat with leaves because he lit it on fire and it was stressing out over it. So it panicked to evolve into something else to adapt. I literally have it marked in its fucking thought. When burned, oh no, his character apparently was Mo. When Mo burned it alive for it being grass.
Yes.
That poor cat.
Okay, so his first character was Mo. Then he brought a character like because of circumstances that we're going to get into. He brought a different character called Scrumpy
Yeah,
from an alternate timeline, and then later he became Apricot. That's where okay, that's the naming. Okay,
yeah,
we
that makes
understood.
sense now. Okay, good thing we figured that out. That I looked at that. Jesus Christ. Um. So yeah, upon doing that, um, after burning it alive, I don't think there was anything else you guys did inside Aslar. I think then you headed to the docks.
Yeah, we went to the docks, got on a boat. Uh, we went down a river that connected to our destination, and on the way, we got assailed by a big old squid octopus.
Squid octopus.
multi pseudopoded creature. I don't of indeterminate number.
You don't know. I just remembered that you guys were by the squid as you were in its territory. Tentacles wrapped around the ship, and you were basically being attacked by it. Um, this is where the witch wasn't there, so the griffin vanished, trying to fight it off. It died, came back as an undead, and from there we basically had combat. We fought it, and Seda gave Serath a totem, and then Serath captured the squid. Was thing. At least that's what I remember. Unless you
No, that's
remember
right.
in yeah. That was the first one you captured. I think that was
Yeah.
the only one you captured actually. Um After capturing that, we docked at the island. We then off ship, we made camp. That same session, I think you had stuff on your marriage you wanted to bring over, but it was gonna take like a day's time or something.
Yeah, so I just sent it over, like while we were
Yeah,
doing
so
stuff.
you just sent it over. During the night, there was screaming or something in like one of the towns that was on the outskirt of the island. I don't remember if we checked that out. I don't remember in full detail what happened.
We did. We found a raptor. We fought the raptor. Found a tiny tiefling child. By the way, tieflings are racist against in like this area. Um, Helped them out. I don't remember what happens directly after that. I remember now. We then had wait. I think that was the session that went on like really late into the night. Is that the one?
Yeah,
Okay, so
yeah, that sounds about right.
Yeah, and then like the day after, we were or no, like during that session, like at the end of that session, we were like, man, that was fucking awesome because we had a fun time that particular session. Wish we could do it like tomorrow. And then uh Dark here had an idea. He was like, yeah, sure, let's do it. So then he had us make a character for a thing. We didn't know what was going to happen, but we just wanted to play D&D again. So we played D&D again at the following afternoon, and that's when uh that's when Moe's player brought Scrumpy, and I brought Taba. Scrumpy was just this dude in big biker armor that was actually just Raphael from the 2008 Ninja Turtles movie. I don't remember. Like he wasn't an Ninja Turtle, he just had the same armor from the movie. And I was a rowdy Tanuki with my like a bunch of gang members. We met in a bar that was in a city that was currently being besieged by what was
No,
it being
it was
besieged by?
past Aslar. You were being attacked by corrupted creatures. This was like
Yes.
before the Chen like took over the island.
Yeah, so this was in the past.
Mm.
Um,
Yeah.
I don't know how Scrumpy got there. Me and my boys, we were just trying to find someplace to rest while the corruption was like banging on the doors of the like banging on the gates of the city. We all just kind of we went to the same tavern. We didn't really like interact too much like at the beginning. Oh yeah, and Lilith was just Lilith in the past, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I think.
we were just I I think like she just played her character in the past.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, and it turns out that her and Scrumpy um like met back then, and then like they met in the tavern that we all congregated at the start of the session. Then Taba realized, oh shit, they're breaking down the gates of the city. We should probably go deal with that, guys. Yeah, let's do it. And then we did it, because we were awesome like that. Uh, and then then like some lady uh came in with a different force of people.
What that up? That again?
Wait, no, because like the fighting got to a point where they were breaking into the city, and then a lady showed up, and then she was confronting Lilith because they were related.
Uh, I remember what you're talking about. Yeah, she
Yeah,
was
so then
confronting Lilith, but she was also there to stop the corruption running into the city. I think Lilith said something and I think attempted to attack the lady. And I think that's when you guys were like, okay, so we're gonna be on both. We're gonna be attacking two sides here.
yeah,
I
okay,
think.
it's like shit's going down, and then we decided like who we were going to deal with, and then lady kicked us into the past, but only like only me and Scrumpy, and that is
Future.
top what future?
She
Sorry, yeah,
basically pushed you guys into the future.
yes, kicked us into the future. Tabo was separated from his boys, and he was never the same again. And I have no idea what happened to them.
And after that, we had yeah, after that ended, the next session happened, I believe, and that's when we were exploring or something. Or no, wait. No, this is when me and Lilith, I think, broke off from the team.
Yeah, you fucking like left for no good reason, and then everyone else like they're like, I wonder where they went. Let's go look in the forest. And then we met our past future selves, or not
Okay.
like we the players as the characters met the characters from the past.
Yeah, yeah. Um, so basically Seda and Lilith left. They went towards the center of the island, which was having this corruption basically coming through it. So basically, this whole thing was corrupted. It was basically a temple that had some kind of object in it. Um, Seda climbed up to it. He confronted the tiefling. Basically, I don't know. Yeah, she got a natural 20 on him. He failed his roll anyway, and he took hit hard, fell off, and that was it
And
with
we
that.
the rest of the group like found where they were at, and like we saw him falling off the castle wall or temple wall, whatever. And then we were like, yeah, oh, yeah, like, yeah, you had it handled? You had it handled, Seda? Really?
True story. At this time, this is also when I think you guys confronted Storm. Then the glitching started happening where it was the Leviathan was breaking through the rift again, causing more corruption on the island as well. Um, you guys then I think had to fight
Yeah, two mechs showed up.
the two mechs because they were getting readings about the corruption, the amount of corruption that was being poured into this area.
Who were they again?
What's that?
Like,
I put
who
my
were
phone
they?
down.
Who were, what?
Who were they? The
Yeah,
mechs?
I forget. Yes.
I think they were just basic um Azalarian mechs. I don't think I had names for them.
No, but like,
I
why
think they were
why did
just
they attack us?
because they if I remember correctly, because you were trespassing on the island and they thought you hurt Seda or something.
All right, seems legit.
That's what I remember because I think they got on the island, they saw the rift opening up, they looked down, saw you guys. Seda was basically laying there unresponsive, so they couldn't ask anything.
Oh yeah, and Seda had a sword sticking out of his chest. That probably didn't help. But it was a magic
I
sword,
know it didn't.
so whatever. And also, Storm was just around during this. I don't think we actually confronted her during that. She just kind of like hung it while we were fighting these things. Then we fought them, and then like I think Taba like just threw a dinosaur at them that he found and befriended. Um,
Yes,
that,
Inky. He literally befriended
Aniki,
Inky during this
yes,
one. Oh yeah, Aniki.
Aniki.
And um you basically went ham with him. I remember that.
Yeah, he took one out, and then Sarath like immobilized one, and then he was climbing up it like Shadow Claw's Estelle, gonna stab a pilot, and then he's like and we heard him scream, and then I was like what? And then he like carves open uh a uh a hole into the cockpit which is like around the head, and we saw somebody get like xenomorphed. and we didn't know what happened. He just kind of died.
He just kind of died. This is also when I think you guys investigated that one. He was basically linked up to everything. There was cords in his back. He was kind of just hanging there, controlling the back, and then literally had his whole ass chest cavity opened up. Thing came out of him. There was blood basically splattered all over the cockpit.
Yeah, we were really confused about that. But then we said, okay, we'll deal with that later. And then we had a whole debate over, okay, why does Saida have a sword in his chest? It wasn't there before. Like, I mean, mind you, he wasn't stabbed. It just kind of came out of him, and we didn't know what to do. So, Sarath pulled some like ritual that he found during his time in in the Corrupted Lands, and he was able to peer into the sword, and it turns out the sword was a demon that was in his sister, and then was in him. And then Storm called us idiots and just told us to stab back into him, and we hated her because fuck you, you did all of this. So I played Sarath really did not like Storm. um,
Literally.
but she was really knowledgeable about the subject, and we really had to get going because oh my gosh, there's a Leviathan coming out of the fucking sky. So we stabbed the sword back into him. Uh, he, I believe, only regained conscious. Oh wait, no, we didn't do that yet because we saw, hey, there's a Leviathan coming out. So we very carefully brought Saida with a blue flaming sword sticking out of his chest, um, and then put him in the mech, and then it's
Oh, that's right.
Sarath. Yeah, and then Sarath tried to pilot the mech without being linked, and that was kind of an ordeal in and of itself. We also met some random guy who claimed that he was the husband of the illusion wisp. I don't know what that was about. Um, and then Scrumpy tagged along, but he didn't really know what to do. So he like plasma torch cutted a hole into the foot of the mech, and then like rode along in there. Um, then we were like, okay, I don't know how this thing works. I don't know how we're going to get there faster. We just have a big pair of legs, so that's only going to make us go so fast. And then we were like, wait a minute, Joro. And then I think Joro just kind of knew what we wanted from him, but we didn't know that it was going to do this much. Uh, Joro spread himself out around like the back of the mech because like he was made of water, so he was able to spread the surface area of like him all throughout the back. Now, I only really found out about this recently. I've like in my whole time playing D&D, I just never really encountered this particular item. Recently, uh, so without you knowing this, Dark, because you never actually like gave me proper stats for him, you just kind of told me like what he could do. You accidentally made a much more powerful version of something called a decanter of endless water. It's basically just what Juro is, a living decanter of endless water, but like turned up to 11.
Oh,
So
really?
yes, I recommend you look that up. Um, but yeah, he then provided us with just it's stupidly powerful, like water powered back thrusters. Just the volume and force of which the water was spurted out, propelled us forward. Um, because like we didn't really know how to like make the thrusters go full power. So with a combination of shitty thrusters and really like water powered spider thrusters, um, we shot ourselves back over towards Azalor. Um, seeing that the Leviathan is like slowly like cracking its way into this world, and right before we like landed at the castle properly, um, just a big winged lady showed up. Apparently, that was the illusion wisp. Uh, and I think I tried to shoot at her, but she wasn't there. So I They just kind of ended up like firing wildly with the with the mech's rifle that was on its arm, and then we somehow didn't die when we crashed into the castle courtyard, mech hangar, whatever
Courtyard. Inner courtyard.
thing.
Same thing.
And that's when we had the debate on the sword thing. Oh yeah, we didn't trust Storm, like at all. But then Saita's sister came around, who was actually Sarath's like old childhood friend, because he's like, oh, he was a Nova, but he doesn't tell anybody. His backstory never comes up in game. I mean, it does, but we never explain it. Uh, so yeah, um, she tells us to stab into the sword again, and we're like, "Oh, Storm was telling the truth." Stab, and then Sato wakes up.
Oh. And then he wakes up. You No, he was summoned. I think you went towards the mech area for a moment.
Yes, to go talk with his sister because I wanted to know what she was up to. Like after all these years, I don't remember what anyone else was doing. Then Saito called all of us to. Oh yeah, and we saw that she was working on a fucking prototype mech. That's a secret tool that'll help us. Um, uh, then Saida calls for Seraph and Scrumpy or Mo. I don't know.
One of the two.
Yeah, because we're at this point, I think we're the only ones who are actually playing anymore. Oh wait, no, B's around.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever. I don't know what she's doing like at that moment. Um,
But he wasn't there for
so
that session.
probably yeah. Seda introduces us to his fiance, who is the princess of Azlor, and he's. What are the politics again? Why are we doing? Why did we do what we did?
Um, so he goes and talks to her alone for a second. I think you both heard like fighting or something, or like them raising their voices, and then the one of them opened the door, and then talked to you guys about the politicians basically being corrupted and evil. Something about them working for the Dark Order and then wanting to bring forth the Leviathan fully. Something about the whole council basically being evil, and then that they need to be killed.
Yeah. And then Sarath and Mo were like, "We believe you. We accept this information at face value." And then we went and killed the council.
Yeah, everyone was slaughtered. Well, no, you guys, because the council room was locked on the other side, because you guys went over there, tried to get in, locked on the other side, went back to um, the princess and Seda, and then went through the window, had that whole climbing parkour scene. Someone fell, and this is when you used your squid.
And that served as a good distraction. And then we broke into the council room and killed everybody.
And then everyone in the council room died. Um, upon that, your squid was still outside. One of the mechs was going to attack it, but was told not to. Proceeded to go towards where the Leviathan was being brought back. And from there, um, you all tried to figure out a way down to try and get to it faster. Oh no, you went towards where Sata's sister was, took the prototype mech.
Yeah, so then Sarath decide I'm gonna pilot that thing, and then Rhea, uh, I realized we didn't actually say her name until now. Say his sister Rhea. He was like, "What the fuck do you know about piloting mechs?" Blah, 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 blah. And then Sarath takes off his mask, and it shows like, "I'm your buddy, Rhea." She's like, "Whoa!" And then during this time, Scrumpy was talking with some lady that showed up in the castle, like seeming important, and that it was like, oh, she is important. And then she shows up later. I don't remember what they talked about. Everyone piled onto the mech. Um, Sarath hopped in the friggin' thing because I like mechs and I wanted to pilot it. So we shot off to go find it, like go kill the Leviathan that was cracking into the world. Um, uh, with like function thrusters this time, as well as spider thrusters. Met back up with the squid. We were fighting some fucking corrupted ads on the way. Made it to the Titan. I mean the Leviathan, and that it's a big fight happened, which I actually didn't do much in.
Big fight, big fight.
I mostly fought the tentacles, and then got grabbed by a tentacle.
Sata, Scrumpy were on the head. I think Lilith was there too, finally. And they were fighting a different lady that was on the Dark Order side, who was the child at the time person who took Taba and Scrumpy out of that time, put them into the future. They fought her for a bit. The god of corruption descended from the void and attempted to attack Scrumpy and Seda, and then was intervened by Time Lady because Time Lady showed back up, and um, it took both daughter and Time Lady to bring him back into the place and then kill the Leviathan, stabbing Kiki into its head, causing that energy to flow through it and killing it using all of Kiki's destruction, which was Kiki in her prime.
Yeah. And then we saved the world again. Wait,
And
no,
then
this
you
is the
saved,
first time.
yeah, this is the first time you guys saved the world. At least you saved the world.
I'm the only one left. I saved the world.
This is the only time. This is the first time you saved the world. Yep.
Lewis, Sarath was on the fast track to being the coolest guy, and then we were just plot got in the way. Like, oh, here is this man who has like hated corruption for his like nearly entire life, which is saying a lot because he's an elf, so he lived like a while. Went out into into a land filled with the shit that he like everything that he wanted to kill, found like-minded people, learned the perfect way to kill everything he ever needed to kill. Um, like became a shining beacon of fuck corruption, and like not hyperbole. He had a giant glowing sword. found a way to put the stuff that he used into the giant glowing sword, and mainly through bargaining with the DM to say, "Hey, a mech's a weapon, right?" And became literally a knight in shining armor. And then he got carried off by a tentacle too far away to like actually kill the guy.
And during this time, this is also, as I note, this is when literally all of Chapter 1 and Chapter 2 literally combined. So
Yeah.
everyone from Chapter 1 was basically saved, and everything that happened in Chapter 1 basically got replaced with everything in Chapter 2. So basically, whatever was destroyed was fixed.
And then everything was fixed.
And then everything was fixed.
I saved
Yeah,
two
if
worlds.
you saved 2 worlds. Sarah is literally a twofer. If Seraph had Kiki, oh man.
Oh man. Like that is a whole different character. Sarath is actually like a serious.
Somewhere in an alternate timeline, there's a Seraph of Kiki.
Oh yeah, because Sarath ejected out of mech, and he did wind up on the head with everyone in the final battle. He just didn't do the killing blow. So there, if shit went differently, we could have had a what is this moment? Like he just picks up the sword.
It's just a master sword situation where Seraph grabs it, he takes it, and just kills the Leviathan. The ultimate corruption killer.
Do we have a tally of like who's killed Leviathans? Like who has killed the most Leviathans in this whole series?
If we're counting chapter 1, chapter 2,
Who's
Leviathan being
counting everybody?
technically quote unquote different. Technically Seraph would have 2. Aspen has killed the resurrected one. Have we ruled that Aspen has killed the ones from the other other like timelines, other than cutting off one tentacle?
I would not count that as killing. Okay, so somehow, despite all of Aspen's shenanigans, Sarath has still killed more Leviathans. And
And,
let's see,
and
nobody
Aspen
killed.
has 50.
Yeah, nobody killed Leviathan in chapter one. Sarath killed the Leviathan from chapter one. How did he? Wait, what was the second one?
Technically speaking, because chapter 1's Leviathan would have, as it was breaking through the rift, it would have killed the chapter 2 one as well. So during that, technically, you would have killed 2 of them.
Okay, I'll take it.
I'll take it.
I just spilled on my.
So yeah, Serath is 2 for 1 of Aspen.
And yet, I am both.
So technically, Zadok is 3 Leviathans.
I am slowly mastering the art of killing your MacGuffin creatures.
Yes, you are. Man, in another universe, Eobard could have been in chapter 2.
Yep.
That would be wild though. Zeroth and Eobard being on the same team.
Yeah.
Wouldn't be that bad. Pretty nice.
I didn't say it was gonna be bad. I said it would be wild.